I think we've seen now for the past 10 months or so what Democrat governance looks like, and it's one crisis of competence after another. Whether it's what's happening, the disaster at the border, at the ports, the pileup out there, what's happening in our cities when it comes to safety of our communities. You can literally go right down the list and just see example after example of where Democrat governance is leaving the American people high and dry. And as the leader pointed out, the most obvious example of that is probably inflation. They passed a $1.9 trillion bill in March, and that has fueled these inflationary pressures. Instead of listening to what the American people are saying about that, their reaction to it, which I think the generic ballot, which shows the Republicans with the largest lead in 40 years, the Democrats seem to be covering their ears and just trying to ignore the problem, because what they're talking about with this reckless tax and spending spree is flooding the zone with even more spending, more dollars, chasing too few goods, leading to more and higher inflation. And just give you an example of what that looks like, year over year, October to October, highest inflation rate in 31 years, 6.2%. But if you look at some of the basics that the American people buy, eggs, poultry, fish, meat, 11.9% increase October to October, all being fueled by the policies that Democrats have already passed and those that they're talking about trying to pass in the future. The Congressional Budget Office is going to come out with a score at some point, which I don't think is going to be particularly favorable to the Democrats. And the Democrats continue to maintain that all of this spending, all this massive run-up in spending, costs zero, as if the American people, if that could pass the laugh test with the American people. And so the taxes, the spending, the debt, all contributing to what the American people perceive to be the biggest economic issue that they face with their families, and that is this runaway inflation and the impact that it's having on their weekly budgets. I don't expect the Democrats to get the message, but surely the American people are sending one, and the message that they're sending is do away with this massive, reckless tax and spending spree and start getting inflation under control so we have more to be able to take care of our needs and our families' needs.